Across the 45-50, gets it to the outside, 40-foot race on, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! 89 yards!
This is the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week.
Week 3 of the high school football season kicking off tonight, and what a matchup we have for you here at Mollenkopf Stadium. Howland Tigers invading Warren Harding on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week. Hi again, everybody. Chad Prspinski alongside Ralph Sandy. Ralph, let's get right to it. These two teams, quite a bit of rivalry. We'll start with Howland, and when you talk about the Tigers, it all starts with number 4, Devion Smith.
Absolutely. Devion Smith gets the most press. Everybody talks about him, but clearly the guys up front in that defense are underrated. I know they're coming into this game tonight to make some noise.
That Howland offense, a well-oiled machine, having outscored the opposition 73-7 through 2 games in the regular season. We now change over to Warren Harding. Of course, it is year number 1 against Rick Rios. We saw this team in week number 1 in a loss to Austintown Fitch. The Raiders picking up a victory, their first under Rios last week in a low-scoring affair against Youngstown East. What's the key for the Raiders to picking up win number 2?
I think Warren Harding needs to get their offense on track. They've shown glimpses this year, especially with running back LaShawn Daniels, but they have not put together a full game, not 4 quarters. They certainly hope they do it here tonight against their crosstown rivals.
Coach Rios telling us earlier this week he wants to see his team establish a running game. He wants to see that clock controlled and keep that potent Howland offense off the field. Of course, last year, following a 12-year hiatus, these two teams got back together. Howland coming away with a 3-point victory, 25-22 all-time. Harding leads the series 15-4, but Howland looking to make it 2 straight victories. It's Howland and Harding in front of a packed house here on the turf at Mollenkopf. Next on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week. It's a jam-packed Mollenkopf Stadium, week 3 of the high school football season. And you couldn't ask for much more than a matchup pitting Howland against Warren Harding. Hi again, everybody. Chad Prspinski alongside Ralph Sandy. Howland has won the toss and has deferred, and so it will be the Raiders. Offense coming in, getting the first crack on the offensive side of things. Connor Gilmore set to kick it off for Howland. LaShawn Daniels. And Terrell Bruner back deep to return for Warren Harding. It is taken by Daniels across the 15 to the 20. Daniels still on his feet across the 30 and out to the 34-yard line. Rob Close is there to make the stop on special teams, and that is where the Raiders will set up shop. First down and 10.
You know, we talked about at the beginning, Chad, Warren Harding would love to see their offense come together. Just over 100 yards last week in that win against East. They'd love to see this offense start hitting on all cylinders.
Keys to the game brought to you by our friends at Boardman Subaru. We talk about Harding needed to jumpstart that offense. They want to establish that ground attack. For Howland gaining ground, that ground attack has been stellar and backyard brawl. Of course, Harding leads the series 15-4. However, Howland won last year's meeting by 3 at 25-22. Raiders keeping it to the ground attack. It's Daniels who's brought down by Dan Ebert. Quickly down to the sideline. Here's Sherry Jones.
They're starting up again, and even with the threat of rain, there's still a great crowd here tonight. 2 of the best teams in Trumbull County. I talked to athletic director from Howland earlier today, and he said that these Tigers are out here on a mission to win. They want to prove who the best team is here in Trumbull County. We'll see.
Run play to the right side, and it goes virtually nowhere, as that is Jalen Powell. Dan Russell there to make the stop for Howland. And so it's going to bring up a 3rd down play. Let's take a look quickly at the starting lineup as sent to us by the Raiders. And you see those starters at the bottom of your screen, skill positions and the big bodies up front. And so Jalen Powell takes the snap from the gun, looking right side, firing, and it is complete for a first down to the 46-yard line. Laquan Dorsey hauling it in. And it will be first down and 10. Dorsey coming in, the team leader in receptions with 8. That's his 9th on the campaign. And it's good to move the chains. First and 10, Harding at the 48-yard line. Jalen Powell again takes the snap. He'll keep it himself. He's over the right side, still on his feet, and he is absolutely belted at the Howland 48-yard line. And that is one thing that the Howland coaches were especially cognizant of, Ralph, when we visited with them. As we get a look at the Howland defensive unit, they were especially cognizant of the ability to run the football for Jalen Powell.
Yeah, I really didn't know what to expect coming into this game. Josh Martz started the first game. We've also seen Rumpel at quarterback, and now we're going to see Jalen Powell. I think they're going to mix it up here tonight to try to keep that Howland defense on their heels.
Jalen Powell continues to operate at the quarterback position. Powell has it around the right side. He's stacked up at the 45. Tries to muscle his way inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. And again, in the starting lineup that was passed along to us by the coaching staff at Harding, it was Jimmy Rumpel that was listed as the starter. But again, as you said, it looks like they're going to mix things up just a bit. It's going to be third down and short. 3rd and 2 upcoming for the Raiders, who come in with a record of 1-1.
Jimmy Rumpel's going to enter the game right now, number 14 at quarterback. And like you said, we're going to see those two switch off.
Rumpel comes in having completed 6 of 21 passes on the season. Back to the ground attack over the right side. It is LaShawn Daniels. Daniels getting another carry, and Daniels comes in with 230 rushing yards on 34 carries, averaging just about 7 yards per crack, couple of touchdowns. He did fumble once. We were here for that.
Yeah, back in week 1 against Fitch, he had a fumble. But boy, since then, he has been the only bright spot, I think, for this Harding offense this season. Going to see a lot of him tonight out of the backfield.
So that last play, close enough for a first down, and at least a measurement that is. Sure looks like a first down, and it is. So that's something that Coach Rick Rios, we talked about it off the top, said he really wants to see this team establish the ground attack. That will keep that Howland offense off the field, that Howland offense that has really been able to pile up the points. We expect a lot of rushing of the football here tonight. 1st and 10 for Warren Harding from the Howland 42-yard line. Jimmy Rumpel stays in at quarterback. Justin Magazine now in the backfield. They give to Magazine, and he is stacked up. Puts his head down and muscles his way forward for a yard down to the 41-yard line.
And Jason Freeman that time from his defensive tackle position comes off his block quickly and is going to just surround Magazine right there. Get some help from the linebacker as well, Dan Moody.
We're going to officially give him 2 yards on the play, and it's 2nd down and 8 from the Howland 40-yard line. Clock rolling, 8:37 and counting. Jimmy Rumpel brings Magazine from the left side to the right side. Rumpel wants to throw, looking near side, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Don't see much passing, and
boy, Dan Moody was right there, right in his face. Jimmy Rumpel didn't even have time to throw that football. You'll see number 45 just come right up the middle, has to hit it with his left hand because you saw the big orange cast on his right hand. And there's a good look at it right there.
Of course, we saw Howland a little more than a week ago in a big-time win over Lakeview. Howland, a very, very big team, a very, very physical team. And they think that could be an advantage here tonight. Jalen Powell is back in at quarterback for Warren Harding. 3rd down and long. Powell wants to throw. He's in trouble. Dropped at the 46-yard line. Davion Smith wreaking havoc from his linebacker position, and the Raiders will have to punt.
Boy, Jalen Powell is an athlete, but he gets stopped back there and has nowhere to go. Davion Smith shows you his speed that time on defense, and he just slams Jalen Powell into the turf. And look at him try to switch gears, nowhere to go. And boy, a nice open field tackle by Davion Smith. We talk about his running ability, Chad, but he also starts at linebacker for this Howland Tigers club.
Kyle Cogley into punt. That punt is away. Great pressure. Fair catch is made right at about the 15-yard line, as that one was hauled in by Ken Pozaga. Before we head to break, we'd like to remind you that there will certainly be some outstanding plays through the course of the ball game coming up after this one. Ralph and I will pick Dr. William Woods play of the night. No score. Back to Mollenkopf following this on the MyValleySports.com High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to Mollenkopf Stadium. 1st and 10. Howland's first possession. There were offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on that last punt. Howland keeps it to the ground, running room around the right side. It's across the 20 to the 21-yard line. There on the carry, it was Brandon Miller.
So much attention paid to the tailback. This time you give it a quick hitter to the fullback, Brandon Miller, right up the gut. Nice blocking out in front of him. There you see the open field tackle by LeBrandon Watson.
Brandon Miller coming in 45 rushing yards to his name through 2 games for the Tigers. Davion Smith, you see him dotting the I formation, getting the bulk of the carries for the Tigers. Davion Smith takes the handoff. He's on the open field. He's across the 40 to the 45. Still on his feet, and he's going to stick on his feet to the 30. He's to the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown!
Well, he certainly had some room in front of him, but there were defensive players there. And it almost seemed, Chad, like Terrell Bruner was preoccupied with getting that football out of there. And the next thing you know, you got a touchdown. There you see a bust through the first line of defense, and once he gets here into the secondary, watch the effort to strip the football, and then quite a stiff arm by Davion Smith.
78 yards, Davion Smith. That did not take long. And Howland on for the extra point. Smith finding the end zone for the 6th time already this season. On for the extra point, it is Connor Gilmore. Snap back, it is blocked. That's something Coach Engel talked about. He said they've got to shore up things on special teams, but it stays 6-0 in favor of Howland. Special teams will come back to haunt you so many times. Is great penetration from Warren Harding. In fact, it was Mike Kalkbrenner who it looked like it ricocheted off of.
And he was in the backfield because Roger Craig, number 44 for Harding, just blew him off the football right into the backfield.
So it's 6-0 in favor of Howland. And what a start for the Tigers. They've done it all season long. 2 plays, 84 yards. Took under a minute, and the Raiders find themselves on the short end again. We talk about the confidence factor of Harding. They have not had an easy time moving the ball offensively. How much does that hurt them to be in an early hole here tonight?
You know, watching the players during warm-ups and their chants, they were fired up. And really, they came out here, moved the ball a little bit offensively, but to give up a big play like that, you got to wonder how much wind comes out of the sail for this Harding team.
Gilmore boots that one high and deep down the field, taken by Daniels at the 5. He's to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Still on his feet, cutting it to the outside and brought down at the 26. And to make the stop, Caleb Dahm for Howland on special teams. So Harding will have the first crack now, trying to answer back.
Jimmy Rumpel's back in there, a quarterback. You see LaShawn Daniels come off the field, which is kind of surprising because he has been their workhorse, their go-to guy there on the offensive side of the football. But Justin Magazine looks like he's going to get a crack at it at the tailback position to start this drive off.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. It will be Rumpel with Magazine in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. They'll send a man in motion. Jimmy Rumpel takes the snap, looking near side, firing. It is tipped and almost intercepted. Dan Ebert was right there, surrounded by two of his Howland Tiger teammates. He made a diving attempt and almost came up with it.
Yeah, they tried to go right to the slant to Mike Dorsey, and nice job by Dan Ebert, the strong safety, playing up a little tight because he's going to play close to the line of scrimmage against the run team. Read that nicely and almost had himself an interception.
2nd and 10 from the 25-yard line. Jimmy Rumpel, bubble screen. It is complete to the 30. Loose football. Tigers have it. Brandon Miller pouncing on it. 1st and 10, Howland. Turnovers also important. Harding forced 7 in a win over East. Howland has forced 1 here tonight.
Well, you see the nice completion of Mike Dorsey. Gets out into open field, and there's the hustle from the backside. Again, it's Dan Moody, big cast and all, from his defensive tackle position, chasing the play backwards, causes that fumble. And there's Brandon Miller. He's the recipient of that big hit by Moody.
From the 35-yard line, Tigers set up shop. A wing on the left side is Miller. He comes in motion. Brendan Cope, the quarterback, fakes the handoff, wants to throw. He'll go for it all. Deep downfield. It's knocked away at the last minute. Great defensive play by Terrell Bruner. Pass was intended for Matt Hayes, streaking down the center of the field in the post pattern. But again, Bruner right there to knock it down.
Boy, you like the play call, don't you? You just have a 70-some yard run. You go with the play action. Man coverage on the outside. Has his man beat, but does a nice job of just getting that hand up there and knocking that down. That ball put out a little bit further. That's a touchdown.
2nd down and 10 from the 35. Tigers will send out 3 wide receivers. Far side to the left. 1 back in the backfield. It's Devion Smith. Instead, it's Brendan Cope with the carry, and he is belted down at the 35-yard line. Roger Craig is there, along with Jalen Moore. Howland's offense is led by the quarterback, Brendan Cope. He's averaging 92 passing yards. Devion Smith comes in, having himself quite a season. And of course, all the credit goes to those big bodies that are anchored by number 73, the tackle, Anthony Stanko. A mammoth offensive line for Howland. It's 3rd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Brendan Cope under center, turns and pitches to Devion Smith. He's to the 35, he's to the 30, but he's wrestled down from behind at the 29. And I'll tell you what, every time Smith takes the pitch or takes a handoff, everyone on the Howland side seems to stand up because they know at any given point he can break one, and we saw it already once tonight. Harding's defensive unit looks this way. The bottom of your screen, those gentlemen will be very hard pressed to shut down Devion Smith. And he's already broken their hearts once here tonight. As we're under 5.5 to play, we've got a sideline warning, I believe, on Warren Harding. So it's going to be 4th down and 3. And the Tigers will leave the offensive unit back out on the field.
And with as much struggle as they've had with the kicking game, and we saw that on the extra point, not going to go for the long field goal. Obviously, with this offensive line, you're going to go for it.
4th and 3. Brendan Cope, long count, turns and gives to Devion Smith up the middle. Devion Smith still on his feet, barreling ahead. He's to the 10, down to the 7-yard line. 1st and 10, Howland.
Boy, and it's not a bad choice to do that when you got a guy like that in the backfield. Devion Smith doesn't have game-breaking speed, but what he does have is a nose for the goal line and just the ability to run people over. And you see a lot of people going for the legs. That's what you want to do on a big back. But you see he keep those legs churning, and another fine run.
1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Devion Smith has already broken one for a touchdown. He'll try to do it again. Run play back to Smith. That time he is swarmed upon and dropped. Loss of 3 back to the 10. And again, it's Roger Craig and Andreas Cambridge there for the Raiders.
That's a nice job defensively by the left side. On the right side of that Harding defense. And we've seen the success here tonight they've had running has been when Howland has been able to run to their right. And there you see the penetration early on by that Raider defense.
2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. Osborne now in the backfield. They will give it to Devion Smith, and he's going to lose 2 more. So there's some penetration defensively from Harding.
And that play just didn't look smooth at all in the backfield for Howland. They lined up there in the stack eye, and it just seemed like a lot of confusion, not well timed. And it didn't help that Warren Harding had a handful of guys there in the backfield.
3rd and goal from the 12-yard line. Tigers will send out a pair of receivers far side to the left. Devion Smith in the backfield. Cope adjusting things at the line of scrimmage. Crowd getting into it now here at Mollenkopf. From the 12, we have a whistle, and we have what? A timeout called by Howland, and it comes with 3:37 left to play here in quarter number 1. Well, we've got a stoppage of play. We can remind you that you can text the word PRIZE, P-R-I-Z-E, to 45548 for your chance to win a free pizza from Pizza Joe's. Get to your local Pizza Joe's today and register to win a spot at the WKBN Pizza Joe's prize party. It comes your way Saturday, October 8th at Stambaugh Stadium. Talk tasty and win big at your neighborhood Pizza Joe's.
You know, we said the play before, Chad, it seemed like it wasn't well run by that Howland offense. They go out there for this 3rd down play. There also seemed to be a little confusion on that offensive line. Dan Moody didn't know which side to go to from that tight end position, and so Coach Angle calls this timeout to get everybody on the same page, because you don't get many cracks at that end zone, and when you're down this close, you got to take advantage of it.
When we get back to it, it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 12. Howland is going to bring out the offensive unit. 2 receivers near side to the right. Devion Smith is the running back. Matt Hayes in a slot. Dominic Termine to the right. Hayes comes in motion right to left. Brendan Cope turns and gives. Devion Smith puts his head down. There's a penalty, and I think Smith moved prematurely, Ralph.
Yeah, that's going to be the call. Devion Smith, excited to get that football in his hands, comes out of his stance and leans forward. That's going to move him back 5 yards, and it's going to make it a little more difficult.
See if Howland elects to go to the air. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 17-yard line.
Third down and goal. Goal from the 17-yard line.
6-0 Howland is our score on a 78-yard scoring scamper by Devion Smith. His 6th touchdown of the season. Far side to the left, it's Dominic Termine. In the slot, it's Matt Hayes. Brandon Miller lines up as a fullback. They will give to Devion Smith. He puts his head down, and he's dropped at the 15. Pickup of just 2 yards, and it is going to be 4th down upcoming, and the field goal unit has come out, Ralph.
Yeah, they've struggled to kick the ball, but they're going to go for it here defensively for Harding. Roger Craig very active on that series. You see Devion Smith a little bit disappointed in himself that he couldn't get that in the end zone, and obviously the penalty as well, but he'll get plenty more carries to try to take advantage of that here tonight.
Gilmore has not made a field goal yet this season. He's kicked 6 extra points. He missed one tonight. Snap back, ball down, kick up by Gilmore, and it has the distance and is right through the uprights. 32-yard field goal for Connor Gilmore. And Howland tacks on 3 more, and with 2:26 left, it is 9-0 Howland. Back down to the sideline, here is Sherry Jones.
Harding's Chance Harper is being carted off the field as we speak. He's favoring his right shoulder. They're taking him into the locker room now to get his pads off and see exactly what the problem is. As soon as I know more, I'll get back to you guys.
So the Tigers don't come away empty-handed. They tack on 3, and it's now 9-0, Ralph.
And Chance Harper, you saw him on the card. Sherry talked about it. It starts at linebacker for this Harding defense. We'll see if they feel that loss here on the defensive side of the ball the next time Howland has it. But Chad, like you talked about, so important that Harding's defense stepped up right there, and we're going to see if this Harding offense could do something with the football.
2:26 left in the opening quarter. And again, this fast start for Howland, we'll see what kind of effect it has on the confidence of this Raider group. Connor Gilmore, who just booted a 32-yard field goal, launches this one down the field. It's taken by Daniels at the 12 to the 15 to the 20. Daniels still on his feet, cuts it back to the outside, 25-30, 35-40. LaShawn Daniels hurdles the stick, and he's ahead of the 49-yard line.
I think that's the one thing we noticed about LaShawn Daniels back in week 1 against Austintown, is that he is tough to bring down. He, like his counterpart Devion Smith, is a strong, powerful runner. And you see him break some arm tackles right there as that kind of special teams unit for Howland slowed down a little bit, thinking that he was corralled in the middle of the field. And he's able to break it and get to the outside.
1st and 10, Harding from the 48-yard line. It's like Jalen Powell is back in at quarterback. Powell will bring Magazine right to left. Powell turns and gives to Daniels. Daniels cuts the corner, stays on his feet, and he puts his head down, and he's down to the Howland 49-yard line. Lots of white jerseys swarming to the football.
Boy, don't you always see that with this Howland defense? They are one of the most aggressive defenses that we see here in the Valley. They do a lot of stuff up front. They send a lot of blitzes, and when they see that ball handed off, they get people to the football. Now you saw the first person there, number 11. Danny Ebert. He doesn't get credit with the tackle, but he sure does slow him up enough that it seems like the rest of that Howland defense does get there.
Jalen Powell maybe changing the play or adjusting things. Magazine comes in motion. Jalen Powell, high snap, keeps it himself, and Powell is hemmed in and down at the line of scrimmage at the 49-yard line. And it is going to be 3rd down and long for Harding, who continues to have trouble moving the football, Ralph.
Boy, I don't think you could play that any better than Zach Wilson for Howland does from a safety position. Jalen Powell gives you a little option look that time to the right-hand side. And we see Zach Wilson. You're going to see him number 7. He's the free safety. He's going to come flying up and make that first hit and trip up Jalen Powell.
3rd down and 6 upcoming from the 48-yard line of Howland. Jalen Powell, long count, takes the snap, keeps it himself. He's got running room to the 40, 45, and he's brought down at the 36-yard line as he's going to be wrestled towards that far sideline. But again, there's that rushing threat for Powell.
Yeah, you know, it's not really the standard option where you go, are you going to, pitch it or keep it. It's just a nice play fake to the left side with LaShawn Daniels, and he keeps it to the right side. So 2 pretty good weapons there for this Harding offense. It's just a matter of getting used to them both being in the backfield. You know, we talked about it. This is really the 3rd option at quarterback, more of a running quarterback. And I think the more that he plays back there, the better that he's going to get.
And we have a whistle. And with 19 seconds left in the quarter, it's a timeout called. And I don't think Rick Rios was too pleased that that timeout was called, because you burn one when you have the first quarter break coming up.
I think he's disappointed more so in that offensive group. He looks frustrated. I don't think people were lined up where they were supposed to be lined up.
Rick Rios, of course, taking over for DJ Dota. Dota moving on to West Branch. And Rios comes out of the gates with a win and a loss. Very low scoring affair. Really said his defense played well, forcing 7 turnovers a week ago. But again, that offense just hasn't been able to get things into a positive flow or a rhythm, so to speak.
And I think the more that you have the same people back there, whether you decide that it's Jalen Powell you're going to go at as quarterback, I think the better they're going to get. But it's just a matter of going out there on Friday night and executing.
Jalen Powell, 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. 19 seconds left in the first quarter. Powell following a wall of blockers. Powell breaking free for a split second, but he's going to be dropped right at about the 38-yard line, maybe the 37, and that's going to just about do it here in quarter number 1. So we have played 1 quarter of football here at Mollenkopf Stadium. With your score, Howland 9, Warren Harding nothing. We'll bring you back to Warren following this on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week. A picture-perfect night for football here at Mollenkopf Stadium. All set to begin the second quarter. 9-0 Howland, but it is Harding starting to get things going offensively. They'll bring a man in motion. Jalen Powell is the quarterback. Powell firing, screen pass to the left side, intended for Justin Magazine. However, pass was dropped. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Make it 3rd and 10.
And that's the disadvantage you have having Jalen Powell as your quarterback. He doesn't throw the ball well. We saw him throw one pass in the Fitch game. His strong suit is running. Obviously a great defensive player. And you're worried that you become too one-dimensional. So you have to throw a pass in there. That time trying to throw the swing pass over there to Magazine, but a little bit too high.
3rd and 10 from the 36-yard line. A receiver to each side. They'll bring a man in motion. That's Elijah Jackson. Jalen Powell takes it around the left side. He's still on his feet, bouncing it to the outside, and he's spun down at the 36. Right at the line of scrimmage. Senior Dan Russell there to bring him down. And it'll be 4th down and 10, maybe 4th and 11.
Well, you see them try to stretch this play out to the left side. You try to get some blocking out in front of him and spread that defense. But boy, it seemed like Dan Russell just came all the way down the line of scrimmage and got into that backfield. Get some help by Zach Wilson as well.
Back to the Tigers, number 6.
So the Raiders will have to punt. It's Kyle Cogley. Of course, the Raiders last week, I should say, were stopped for a safety on a punt. No return man back for Howland. It's a kick that is angled towards the far sideline, and it's mission accomplished. It'll be downed right at about the 11-yard line. And so that is where Howland will set up shop. 1st down and 10.
Tigers looking for 1st down and 10.
So you can vote for the Big 22, 5 blocks of granite, brought to you by the Moransky Companies and Youngstown Granite. Go to MyValleySports.com and click Big 22 to make your choice for the best high school football linemen from our area. Tigers come back out on offense, leading it 9-0. Devion Smith having a big first half. He's the tailback. 1st and 10 from the 12. Brendan Cope turns and gives to Devion Smith. He's still on his feet. Great balance. Breaking free. Devion Smith across the 20 and up to the 24-yard line.
We talked about it earlier. It's just poor tackling by the Harding defense. And really some strong running by Devion Smith. It's a combination of both of them. As you see the nice kick-out block out front by Brandon Miller. Tyler Drass also gets a block, but look at just the ability to break those leg tackles, not getting tripped up.
1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Howland in business with a 9-point lead. Miller comes in motion left to right. Cope will give to the up man. It's across the 25 to the 27-yard line. And on the carry there for the Tigers was Tyler Drass, a junior fullback. Picks up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
When you keep an eye on this Harding defense, you see the shot on the field. How many guys they're going to put up in that line of scrimmage to stop the run game? Right now they got about 10.
The pitch goes to Devion Smith. He cuts it back to the inside. He crosses the 30, and he's out to the 31-yard line. He picks up 4 yards, and it's going to bring up, as that stop was made by Roger Craig and Ty Howard, it'll bring up a 3rd down and short play, 3rd and 2.
Roger Craig, there you see him, number 44, making a lot of tackles for that Raider defense. Just a junior playing a nice game here tonight.
Brendan Cope brings Miller in motion. Devion Smith hits a wall of black jerseys. And Smith is going to be stopped shy of a first down. So Harding really picking things up defensively. And they come up with the stop there on Devion Smith. And it's going to be a loss of a yard. It'll bring up 4th and 3, and the Tigers will have to punt.
Boy, nice shot in the arm for Harding right there. Nice job of getting good penetration. Get a lot of different players in there to make that tackle, led by Andreas Cambridge. But they should get this ball in pretty good field position.
Brendan Cope is the punter, averaging 44 yards per kick. We'll see if Harding comes after this one. Clean snap back to Cope, and he gets away a wobbly kick, which is going to be hauled in by Daniels at the 31. He's to the 35, puts his head down, head to the 40, and maybe out to the 41-yard line. With that, we'll take time out. 8:30 to play here in the first half. Howland 9, Harding nothing. On the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week. Welcome back to Warren's Mollenkopf Stadium. Howland leading Harding 9-0. After the punt, it is Harding with the football, 1st and 10 from their own 41. Jalen Powell remains in at quarterback. Powell wants to throw, looking left side, firing. It's over the head of the intended target, Mike Dorsey. You mentioned it. Powell's strong suit is not passing the ball, and it showed right there. That one floated on him.
Yeah, you really have a guy open out there. Mike Dorsey is alone. Dan Ebert had to come up, would have had to make that tackle, but it would have been a pretty good gain there on 1st down.
2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line. Powell with a long count, receiver to each side. Powell trying to cut the corner on the left side, cuts it back to the inside, and he's ahead of the 44 for a pickup of 3 yards on the play.
Alex Ciferno right there, number 58, with a nice tackle. Boy, when you have an athlete like Jalen Powell at the quarterback position, you just hold your breath every time he takes that snap because he can break it. We've seen his speed before, and we know he's a great athlete, but just searching for a hole to run.
3rd and 7 from the 44-yard line. See if the Raiders elect to go to the air. Daniels to the right of Powell. Jalen Powell takes the snap, keeps it himself up the middle. He's to the 50, and he falls forward, and I do believe he has enough for a Harding 1st down. We'll check out the spot, however. It is a 1st down, and so the Raiders able to move the chains here in the 2nd quarter.
You see a lot of space up the middle. Nice job offensive line for Harding. It's Clayton Dow.
First and 10 from the 48-yard line. Jalen Powell continues to work from the shotgun. Powell looking to throw, firing left side. That time it is caught. Hauled in by Dorsey at the 40-yard line, but there's a penalty flag down at the 48-yard line, and we'll check out the call.
Go figure, if you're Harding, you finally complete a pass, and you move early.
So it's a legal procedure called on Harding. They'll spot it back at the 48-yard line of the Raiders. There you see Coach Rios. First and 15. Jalen Powell takes the snap, gives to Daniels. An opening up the middle. It closes in a hurry. It's down to the Howland 47-yard line.
Wilson. Number 4, Davion Smith.
It's a pickup of 5 yards. Second down and 10.
And that's how that penalty kills you. You get a nice run right there with LaShawn Daniels, and you're still looking at second and long.
Jalen Powell brings Elijah Jackson. Right to left. Powell, loose football. And the Tigers there to pounce on him. Rob Close making sure that Powell isn't able to make something out of nothing. It's another miscue, and it's a big-time loss. It'll bring up third down and long.
Again, we talked about the negative plays. You talked about the penalty costing him 5 yards. Here you see another one. Now you're in a second and long. You're even in a worse position now with a 3rd and 16.
Third down and 16. Jalen Powell takes the snap, keeps it himself. He's to the 45. He's to midfield, puts his head down and is belted out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Some of the Harding faithful wanted a penalty for unnecessary roughness at the tail end. The flag does not come. And it is going to be 4th down and 9. And so Harding will have to punt. Kyle Cogley comes back out.
That could have went either way. That could have been a flag and not completely overt, but
4th down and 9.
So it's Pozaga and Wilson back deep to return this punt. Cogley gets the kick away. And it'll be taken at the 18 to the 20. This is Pozaga. And he's going to be spun down at the 26-yard line. And with 5:31 left to play in the first half, it's 9-0 Howland. We'll take a timeout, bring you back following this on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week. Jam-packed Mollenkopf Stadium, 9-0 Howland. Tiger fans with plenty to cheer about as we commemorate 9/11 here this weekend and the lives that were lost on that terrible, tragic day. Brendan Cook takes the handoff. He has all kinds of running room. Brendan Cook to the 40, and he's going to be run out of bounds at the 44. First down, Howland.
Brendan Cook bootlegs that time, and he really has his choice on what he wants to do. He could throw that football for a big gain, or he could run the football. As you see, bootlegs out of there right now, and really, Chad, there's no one in front of him. Cope is a pretty good athlete. We don't get to see it a lot because he hands the ball off so much. But a nice gain right there on the play action.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Davion Smith. There's the tailback. This is a run play straight up the middle. And it was Brendan Cope on the quarterback sneak. Caught everybody napping.
Second down and 5. Ball's on the 50-yard line.
So we know there are going to be some great plays through the course of the ball game. Coming up after this one, Ralph and I will pick the Dr. William Woods play of the night. That coming up at the conclusion of this one. Pick up a 5 by Cope on the sneak. 2nd and 5 from midfield. Brendan Cope with Davion Smith in the backfield. He turns and gives. Smith meets a wall of Raider defenders, and he is driven back. Does get positive yardage, however. Roger Craig there called his name quite a bit here in this first half.
Roger Craig and Davion Smith going to be good friends by the end of this thing here tonight.
It's a pickup of 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 1 for Howland.
It didn't seem like a huge play right there, Chad, but when you look at it, you only have a 3rd and 1 to pick up. You ran the quarterback sneak up the middle. You ran Smith to the left for 4, and now you have a nice, manageable 3rd down and 1.
Miller comes in motion. Brendan Cope will keep it himself. He tries to take it over that left side. And it is not going to be enough. So it's going to bring up 4th down and short. I think we have an injured Howland Tiger down on the field.
Or nowhere for him to go. He actually ran into the back of his offensive line. I think one of those linemen down right there.
So we have a stoppage of play with 3:40 left in the second quarter. It's tough to tell which player that is. You can see the first digit, which is a 5. The second, I believe, is a 6, Corey Clement. Meanwhile, while the injury timeout is taking place, we will take one as well. 3:40 to play in the first half. It's 9-0 Howland on the MyValleySports.com High School Football Game of the Week. The injured Howland Tiger is Alex Ciferno. And he's slowly able to make his way off the field. And when we get back to it, it'll be 4th and 1.
Tough to see on the replay what happened to Ciferno.
On the punt for the Tigers, number
Just came out of that pile.
Due for the Raiders, number 2, Jalen Howland.
So Howland will line up in punt formation. See if Dick Engel goes to the bag of tricks with a fake punt. We'll see.
Ball's on the 46-yard line.
Brendan Cope. Here's the punter. Long count by the Tigers. They may be trying to draw Harding off sides. Clean snap. The kick is a low line drive kick, which is taken by Daniels at the 14. He's across the 15, reverses his tracks. He's across the 20. LaShawn Daniels to the 30. He's to the 40. Foot race on. Daniels still on his feet. 35. Look at Daniels down to the 25.
Number 28.
Well, he has been the big positive for this Harding team so far this season. And he shows up here on special teams, finally tracked down by Tony Osborne. And there you see the first shot at it right there. Brendan Cope goes flying by. He's able to keep his feet, get over there to the left side, and there is a wall for him waiting. We talked about it. He has good speed and power.
Timeout, Tigers.
And after all of that, Howland will call a timeout. What a return for LaShawn Daniels.
Well, they have been looking for a spark all game long, and well, not a bad one right there by LaShawn Daniels. Great field position. We'll see if Harding can take advantage of it, Chad.
3:03 left. It looked like that return was going to blow right up in his face. Great patience to allow the blocks to take place. And he did the rest with outstanding speed and athleticism.
Well, the thing you like about that is you see Tony Osborne was the second person down the field, and he's going to end up making the tackle about 70 yards the other way. And again, we've talked about LaShawn Daniels. We talked about the fact that his father played here many years ago on the offensive line, went on to play for Ohio State and in the NFL, so certainly in his genes to be a football player. And he has been a pleasant surprise this year. Has just transferred into Harding.
Jimmy Rumpel back in at quarterback. LaShawn Daniels. Here's the running back. Muffed snap. Rumpel dropped at the 27-yard line. And that's not what you're looking for if you're Rick Rios, Ralph.
No, you know, you want to get off to a good start. You bring a different quarterback in, but you know, when you rotate quarterbacks in and out like that, you kind of get out of sync, and you see that snap gets a little bit high, and the beneficiary there is Austin Hutchins, the senior defensive tackle, because he's going to get credited with the sack.
Loss of 1, 2nd down and 11 from the 26-yard line. Rumpel takes it around left hand, and Rumpel is going to be brought down. Kind of a head-scratching play. Dan Ebert there to make the easy stop.
And I'm not sure if that was the play call or if that's a broken play. It almost seemed like everyone was going to the right, and Rumpel ends up like there's no one to hand off to. I better take this and try to make something of it. And Smith gets him from the bottom, and there you see Dan Ebert really pound him into the turf.
So after that big-time Major League return by Daniels, Rick Rios, his team is facing 3rd and 10. And now it looks as if Jalen Powell is back in at quarterback. Daniels to his right. They'll send a man in motion. Right to left. Jalen Powell takes the snap. Powell up the middle. Cutting it to the outside. Gets a block. Look at Powell. He's to the 10. 5. Touchdown Raiders.
Well, that's what he brings to your offense right there. You fake it to LaShawn Daniels to the left, and Jalen Powell waits for it to clear out and just heads around that right side.
1:26 left in the first half, and the Raiders are on the board. Jalen Powell finds pay dirt, and maybe that gets the Warren Harding offense going. Jalen Powell's first touchdown of the season. Dominic Milano-Jones on to attempt the extra point. Snap back, ball down, kick up, kick good. 1:26 left here in quarter number 2 with your score. Howland 9, Warren Harding 7.
Well, Harding certainly has the momentum here, but we saw last week in that Mooney Boardman game how quickly that could change before the half. Certainly Howland's not going to look to sit on it here in the last minute and a half.
And when you have a player with the talent and the caliber of Devion Smith, momentum can shift in a hurry. 25-yard touchdown run by Jalen Powell. To 3 plays, 25 yards, $1:37 off the clock. Of course, it was set up by that huge return by LaShawn Daniels.
When you look at that scoring drive, you say 3 plays, 25 yards. 2 of those plays were negative plays.
So we shall see if the Tigers can answer back. There is Devion Smith. Teeing it up is Dominic Milano-Jones. Also back for Howland, Ken Poziga. Milano-Jones makes the approach and drills it downfield. They kick to Devion Smith. He's across the 20. Smith to the 25. He's to the 30. And he's brought down at the 31-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Howland with 1:21 left, and the Tiger offense comes back out.
And we see it so often. We see that defense feed off the offense. And Harding certainly got into the end zone there. Want to see if they can continue to have a nice job there on special teams. And really, since that big run, the Harding defense hasn't played bad. You know, they've given up some yardage, but when it came time to get there in the red zone, they've held up.
They'll spot it at the 31. It'll be 1st and 10. Devion Smith has broken one big one, and now we have Rick Rios calling a timeout. It'll be the second charged timeout to the Raiders, which allows us an opportunity to remind you that you can vote for the Big 22 Player of the Year. It's brought to you by Antone's Banquet Center. Go to myvalleysports.com and click Big 22 to make your choice for the best high school football player from our area. We seem like broken records week in, week out. Every week we see any number of players that could be considered the best in the area. So many good ones have played here at Mollenkopf Stadium.
Absolutely. And you watch football on Saturday, you watch college football, and you see a lot of those players at that level. Then you watch football on Sunday, you see a lot of players that we've seen on Friday nights playing at that level. And it's certainly a luxury to live in this valley and have great high school football in all parts of this valley.
So each team with one timeout remaining, and it will be 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Devion Smith is the running back. He takes the carry. Smith is going to be stacked up, and he's going to be driven back at the 34. I'll tell you what, I'm no expert on body language, but it looks like there's a little more pep in the step of Harding right now.
Absolutely. You can even hear it in the Harding crowd. They're fired up. They got in that end zone, and all of a sudden they have new life out there. They're gang tackling.
Remember, Howland will get the football in the third quarter. They won the toss and deferred. And they don't look like they're in a big hurry to get to the line of scrimmage. Content with a 9-7 lead at the moment, but we shall see. Brendan Cope. Long count. We are down to 30 seconds. Cope will pitch. This is Smith. He's stacked up and driven back. Lindell Kimball there to come up with a big-time stop, and that may do it here in the second quarter. Clock winding down.
Lindell Kimball right there, number 26, reads this perfectly. He's a linebacker. He knows this is coming, steps up right in the hole and is there. Gets some help from Jalen Moore.
And with that, the first half is in the books, and what a first half it was. Your halftime score, Howland 9, Warren Harding 7. Halftime highlights, numbers, and more follow this on the MyValleySports.com High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to Mollenkopf Stadium. Howland leading Warren Harding by a score of 9-7. It's now time for our Columbiana Buick Cadillac Chevrolet Band of the Week. Let's listen to a selection from the Warren Harding Marching Band. That is our Columbiana Buick Cadillac Chevrolet Band of the Week from Warren Harding High School. Our Columbiana Buick Cadillac Chevrolet halftime report rolls on following these words on the MyValleySports.com High School Football Game of the Week. Under the lights at Mollenkopf Stadium, Howland leading Warren Harding 9-7 at the half. Welcome back to the Columbiana Buick Cadillac Chevrolet halftime report. Chad Krispinski, Ralph Sandy with you, getting set for third quarter action. Let's take a look at how things went in that first half. Plenty of big-time plays. We talk about Devion Smith doing things offensively. He's a pretty good defensive player as well, Ralph.
Absolutely. Nowhere for Jalen Powell to go. Devion Smith slams him to the ground, and that was the theme for the first quarter.
Taking a look at our team numbers, Harding again having trouble moving the football, 52 total yards. Howland has really done it on the ground, 160 rushing yards in that first half of play. Both coaches talking this week about turnovers and the importance of forcing them and the importance of recovering. pretty good-looking defensive play here for Howland.
Absolutely, they get a completed pass, but the next thing you know, over the top is Brandon Miller with the recovery of a fumble forced by Dan Moody.
Let's take a look at some miscellaneous numbers. Clean game in terms of penalties. Just that one turnover, and that coming by way of that fumble recovery. We take a look at our passing numbers. We knew we would not see a whole heck of a lot of passing. We saw 2 completions, 1 for each side. Cope 1 for 2, Jalen Powell 1 for 3. The bulk of the damage done in the first half on the ground. And when you talk about Howland, you talk about Devion Smith. He made some big things happen early on.
Well, this is the type of run that we're used to seeing from Devion Smith. The fact that he uses his power, his speed, his strength down the sidelines, a couple missed tackles. The next thing you know, a 15 or 20-yard gain turns into this, a long touchdown run.
78 yards to pay dirt for Devion Smith, his 6th touchdown of the season. And we're just in game number 3. Let's take a look at our rushing numbers. A little celebration at the tail end. Smith 126 on 12 carries. Jalen Powell found the end zone. 20 rushing yards and 1 touchdown to his credit. And it all adds up to a 9-7 Howland lead at the half. We talk about Jalen Powell getting the Raiders into the end zone, and Powell turning on the speed burners around the right end.
And boy, did Harding need this, Chad. They were struggling, had 2 negative plays in the row. The next thing you know, Jalen Powell sneaks around the right side for a nice gain and a touchdown.
As you may recall, Howland won the toss, deferred, and so they'll get the football. By the way, all of our numbers in our halftime report brought to you by our friends at Columbiana Buick Cadillac Chevrolet. And so Harding will boot it away. Couple of return men back deep for Howland. Looks like Devion Smith. And I do believe it's Ken Pozaga, if my eyesight hasn't failed me. But it will be Devion Smith taking it at the 15. He's to the 20, 25, 30. Devion Smith still on his feet across the 35 and out to the 36-yard line. He was 1 step away from breaking it. Anton Perry bringing him down, and it'll be 1st and 10. Howland upcoming with a 2-point lead. As the Tigers take the field, 1st and 10. Back down to Sherry on the sideline. And we'll check in with Sherry a bit later on. So from the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. Devion Smith would love to break another big one here in the 3rd quarter early on. Cope turns and gives. Devion Smith barreling forward. He's across the 40 to the 42-yard line. He's going to bring up 2nd down. But again, in the waning moments of that 2nd quarter, Ralph, seems like Harding really ratcheted things up defensively, and they weren't allowing any of those big runs for Smith that we saw in the 1st quarter.
And part of the reason is they have so many guys in the blocks, really up there to stop Devion Smith. You know, we saw Dick Engel go with the pass earlier. I wouldn't be surprised to see a play action here. We have an equipment timeout.
Yeah, we have an official's timeout. I think one of the players, looks like Brandon Miller, has a little bit of blood maybe. Well, actually a lot of blood
yeah.
on the elbow. So they're going to take him out of the ball game and replace him, get that all patched up. And he should be good to go. Before we get back to play, quickly down to Sherry on the sideline.
Well, Coach Rios was telling his team in the locker room to just keep doing what you're doing. Keep playing hard. As far as an injury update, Harding's Chance Harper will be getting an x-ray to see exactly what happened to his shoulder. He returned to the field, but not in uniform and in a sling. Howland's Alex Ciferno left the field with ice on his ankle. His return is still questionable.
All right, 2nd down and 5 from the 43-yard line. Brendan Cope turns and gives to Devion Smith, and he's going to be spun down as he crosses the 45 out near the 47-yard line.
And that's the type of run that if you're a Howland fan, Chad, that you're used to seeing. You know, it may not be spectacular, it may not be like the one we saw earlier in the game, but what it does is it moves the chains and it wears on that defense. And even though Alex Ciferno, the center, is out, you plug Jason Freeman in there from the guard position, you still have a big offensive line that is going to continue to push that Harding defensive line around.
And when does the fatigue factor set in? 1st and 10 from the 48. Cope fakes the handoff, wants to throw, firing near side. It is caught at the 47-yard line. In to make the grab was Howland's Tyler Drass. Howland doesn't throw it much, but a good-looking pitch and catch there for positive yardage. Look at the block from Smith.
Yeah, Devion Smith picks up the blitz that time, allowing his quarterback, Brendan Cope, to complete this pass, and you need to do this. You know you're not going to see a lot of passes from this Howland offense, but you have to do it to keep the defense honest.
From the Harding 47-yard line, Brendan Cope, I formation behind him, 2 receivers far side to the left. Brendan Cope gives to Devion Smith, and he is brought down immediately. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 play.
There you saw on your screen number 78 for Howland. That's actually Dan Moody, who was wearing 45. He's going to go in there and play guard. And Jason Freeman is going to slide over to the center position.
3rd and 5 from the 47-yard line. Devion Smith in the I formation. Play action pass. Brendan Cope rolling far side. Cope has it to the 40. Still on his feet. Spinning 3. 1st down, Howland.
And that's the 2nd time we've seen a play action rollout by Cope where he could have completed a short pass or run the football. You're going to see nobody on this side of the football field. In the flats, he has Tyler Drass, but decides to keep it, and Drass is going to give him a block right there as he takes the helmet off of Kyle Cogley.
That shows the intelligence of quarterback Brendan Cope, not forcing anything, taking the safer route, running with the football. Well, he could have uncorked one down the field. 1st and 10 from the Harding 37-yard line. Howland with a 2-point lead. It's 9-7. Devion Smith ripped off his 78-yard touchdown run in the 1st quarter. Tigers also added a field goal. Brendan Cope takes the snap, gives to Devion Smith. Smith still on his feet. Look at the string by Smith down to the 21. 16 yards and a 1st down.
And some emotion right that time. Emotion displayed that time by Devion Smith, and that Howland offensive line really started to pick it up. Gets a nice block by his fullback up the middle. Brandon Miller with a good block, and then Devion Smith shows you what he does best, is break tackles and just keeps rumbling down the football field.
1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Game clock down to 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. High formation in the backfield, a receiver near side to the right. Will bring a man in motion. Brendan Cope takes the snap, turns, gives Devion Smith, wrestled down from behind. He picks up a yard down to the 20-yard line. Looks like in to make the stop was Orlando Irvin. It's going to be 2nd and 9 upcoming.
Things starting to get a little chippy out there. Both sides running their mouths a little bit. We'll see if the officials get on top of that. But that time Harding had 10 guys up on the line of scrimmage within about 5 yards of the football. The only other guy not on the football was their cornerback, who has man coverage on the outside.
2nd and 9 from the 20-yard line. Brendan Cope brings a man in motion left to right. Cope with the long count, fakes the handoff, wants to throw, firing towards the end zone, and it is incomplete. Pass was intended for Matt Hayes. But again, good coverage back there for Warren Harding. 2 black jerseys right in the vicinity.
Boy, you're really forcing your hand. If you're going to put 10 guys in the box, you have to open it up and throw down the field. But Harding has the athletes to be in the box, see the ball in the air, and then run backwards and get it. And Brandon Watson was one of those guys that was about 3 yards off the ball and ended up in coverage.
3rd and 9 from the 20-yard line. See if the Tigers can convert. They've been so good on 3rd downs here tonight. Brendan Cope takes the snap, gives to Devion Smith. Smith staying on his feet. He's inside the 15 to the 14. He's going to be a little bit shy of a 1st down. And we'll see if Dick Engle elects to send the field goal unit in, or if he says, offense, stay out there.
But you
and
almost
move the chains.
And you almost saw collectively everybody turned to the sideline and said, go for it. Even the guy carrying the football, Devion Smith, wants another crack at it.
It is going to be 4th down and 3. They will spot it at the 13. Ralph, this is a big play upcoming.
Oh, absolutely. We saw how Harding fed off the momentum of that special teams play. The offense did. They may feed off their defense.
4th and 3 from the 13. Receivers, there's 2 of them to the left. Offset eye in the backfield. Brendan Cope fakes the handoff, rolling to the left side. Cope to the 10. Cope is going to be hemmed in, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds, but there's a penalty flag that comes flying in. What's the call from that far side?
Well, I know there could have been a call for a hold early on in that play. Wasn't called.
The officials are discussing. It is holding called against Howland. So back the Tigers up. We may get a look at it here.
There you see a hold right there at the onset of that play. Andreas Cambridge got held, but that's not going to be the call. It almost looked like they called the block in the back there.
Right.
By Matt Hayes, but that wasn't the call. They signaled hold.
In any event,
I think what Coach Engel's saying, listen, now he's going to have a talk with the official right here.
Coach Engel's been at it a long, long time. He's done some outstanding things here with this Howland Tiger football program. He's having a discussion with Brendan Cope, and we have a timeout called, and it comes with 7:03 left to play here in the 3rd. With that, we will take timeout as well. 9-7, Howland with a 2-point lead. Big 4th down play upcoming when we come back on the MyValleySports.com High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to Mollenkopf Stadium. 9-7 Howland here in quarter number 3. Say every week we'll pick the PNC Bank player of the game. It's one player that has made the greatest impact. That player receives a hoodie courtesy of Nightline Embroidery and Screen Print. We'll feature the player of the game every Monday night at 6 on 27 First News, and First News at 10 on Fox Youngstown. 4th down and 6 from the 17-yard line. 2 receivers, far side to the left, 1 near side to the right. Devion Smith to the right of the quarterback, Brendan Cope. Brendan Cope fakes the handoff. He'll go for the end zone. He fires, and it is knocked away. Oh, what an offensive play by Terrell Bruner. Brendan Cope was looking for Ken Poziga off the play-action pass. However, the officials are having a discussion right at about the 20-yard line, but here's a look at that pass attempt.
Well, a good pass break up there defensively for Harding. Don't know what the discussion was with the officials.
It was a hold called against Howland. That penalty declined, and so Harding will take over. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. .6:57 left in quarter number 3. Jalen Powell, who scampered in from 25 yards out at the end of the second half, is in at quarterback. Powell rearranging the alignment. Powell keeps it himself. He'll bounce it to the outside. Penalty flag is down, and Powell is as well at the 20. He picks up 3 yards, but Tony Osborne brought him down. And we'll check out the penalty flag, which came from the far sideline. And it is going to be called against Warren Harding. And so that is going to make a difficult situation even more difficult for the Raiders.
It's going to be even more difficult because Jalen Powell's shoe came off. And we'll see if they put in Jimmy Rumpel, or they're going to wait for him to tie his shoe if we can get it done before this call's made.
So they'll march off the yardage, and when it is all said and done, it will be 1st down from the 9-yard line. Jimmy Rumpel comes back in at quarterback, 1st and 18. They'll say from the 8. Rumpel turns and gives. This is LaShawn Daniels. He's across the 10. He's out near the 12-yard line before he's brought down by Zach Wilson, the senior free safety.
Well, you think back to that second quarter, and it's LaShawn Daniels that gets this jump started for the Harding offense by having a nice punt return. Tries to get something here on the ground from the backfield and not able to pick up much.
They'll officially call it 2nd down and 14 upcoming. Rumpel stays in at quarterback. Magazine comes in motion right to left. Movement up front for Howland. Rumpel takes the snap, looking to the right side, firing, and it is tipped and incomplete, but a penalty flag is thrown, and they just got Posaga for some contact ahead of the game.
Well, the defensive player has a right to go for the football, but you can't go through the receiver, and that's what it looked like right there. Posaga comes up in coverage of Myquan Dorsey, and even though he gets a hand on that football, Chad, the first part to hit are bodies, and that's going to dig Harding out of that hole they were in.
And so it is a 1st down for Warren Harding, the unconventional way. From the 28, Raiders will set up shop. Just about halfway through this 3rd quarter. Jimmy Rumpel brings Magazine in motion. Rumpel takes the snap again, wants to throw, pumping once, firing long down the right side, and it is incomplete. Intended for Myquan Dorsey, who was streaking down that far sideline. Zach Wilson and Ken Posaga back in coverage for Howland.
Yeah, they had him bracketed in on that right sideline. There you see the hitch and go down the sideline. We've seen Jimmy Rumpel's arm. He does have an arm. Overthrows his receiver, however, right there.
2nd down and 10 from the 28-yard line. The Raiders have passed a little bit more than we initially thought they would. They haven't passed a lot by any stretch of the imagination, but maybe a little more than I anticipated. Rumpel fakes the handoff, cuts the corner to the right side. He's across the 30, shoved out of bounds near the 31-yard line for a pickup of about 3 yards, escorted out by Rob Close.
Well, we knew this wasn't going to be an aerial battle between these two teams, and you talked about Harding throwing the football a little bit more. And there you saw the yardage. I think it was 16-9 in favor of Harding as we have an injury out there.
So an injury timeout on the field. It comes with 5:53 left in the 3rd quarter. We will take a timeout as well. 9-7. This one still hanging in the balance. Harding football when we come back to Mollenkopf after this on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week. Clayton Dow, the injured Warren Harding Raider. As we welcome you back to Mollenkopf Stadium. So you can vote for the big 22.5 blocks of granite, brought to you by the Moransky Companies in Youngstown Granite. Go to MyValleySports.com and click Big 22 to make your choice for the best high school football linemen from our area. 3rd down and 7 from the 31 for Warren Harding. Jalen Powell is back in there at quarterback. High snap, gobbled up by LaShawn Daniels. Daniels dropped to the backfield. Tavion Smith making another big-time play, this time on the defensive side. It'll be 4th down, and Harding will have to punt.
Yeah, not sure what they were planning on doing there. It seemed like Jalen Powell and Sean Daniels both caught that high snap. Good penetration there by that Howland defense.
Kyle Cogley into punt for Warren Harding. Ken Posaga in single safety, back deep to a return for Howland. We'll see if the Tigers come after this. Low snap. Kick is away. There was some pressure. Posaga tells all his teammates, get away from the ball. Again, there was contact. No penalty flag back by the punter Cogley. He was looking for it. There were 3 white jerseys in the vicinity. However, the official was Johnny on the spot, did not throw the flag. And after all of that, it'll be 1st and 10 for Howland at the 46. We'll get a look at it here.
Boy, give Kyle Cogley credit for getting that thing off as that punt rolled to him. And let's see. Doesn't look like he's touched. You're right. That's a good call by the official. But as a punter, if there's people close to you, you're taught to fall down and hope for the best.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Tigers still clinging to that 2-point lead. Miller comes in motion left to right. Run play goes to Devion Smith. Keeping the legs churning. Devion Smith spins his way inside the 50 and is brought down at the 47-yard line. He's such an impressive looking runner.
Very powerful, and on the ground is Roger Craig, the guy who made that tackle, who's made several tackles here tonight. Looks like he's cramping up a little bit. And there's also a Howland Tiger down on the ground as well. Brandon Miller, the fullback, and looks like a similar issue with him.
Even in week 3, there are some lingering effects with cramps popping up. Say, well, we've got the opportunity. We can remind you that you can text the word prize, P-R-I-Z-E, to 45548 for your chance to win a free pizza from Pizza Joe's. Get to your local Pizza Joe's today and register to win a spot at the WKBN Pizza Joe's prize party. It comes your way Saturday, October 8th at Stambaugh Stadium. Talk tasty and win big at your neighborhood Pizza Joe's. 4:45 left in quarter number 3. Howland 9, Harding 7. Of course, we thought cramps would be an even bigger problem last week with those tropical temperatures. Devion Smith not cramping up. He's up to 175 rushing yards on 20 carries. Of course, 78 of those coming on just 1 play.
Well, at least this injury will time out, will allow both teams to get to the sidelines, get some water in them so that this isn't a continuing disruption to the game throughout the rest of this one.
So Miller is going to be helped up. And slowly but surely, he'll make his way off the field.
And you can see Miller still dealing with some cramp issues right there. As he can...
So when we get back to it, it'll be 2nd down and 3. They'll spot it at the 47-yard line of Harding. And you just get the feeling that Devion Smith has another big one in terms of a run-scoring play coming. But it's Tony Osborne that's checked in as the tailback. Devion Smith lined up as a fullback. There was some movement. Brendan Cope puts his head down, and he's belted at the 45. That play didn't look good from the start.
No, and that's a big-time hit again. Lindell Kimball, who had a big hit earlier in this game, gets another one right there with a busted play. And you can see he fumbles the snap a little bit, Chad, and is forced to just get what he could get. A smart move by Cope, but certainly not the call in the huddle.
And so it is going to be.
I think they're going to bring the chains in here.
I think you're right.
And again, you talk about Cope right there. You know, that's an experienced quarterback that has trouble with the snap, and instead of trying to run the play and have that defense all over it because the timing's off, just put your head down and get what you could get, and you might have enough for a 1st down.
So they're going to stretch the chains out, and it is a Tigers 1st down. That forward progress just was enough. Half of the football length. So the Tiger drive stays alive. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. I formation in back of Brendan Cope. Cope turns, gives Devion Smith, plowing forward, refusing to go down. He's down inside the 40, but the 38 as a penalty flag comes flying in at the tail end of the play.
That time Howland gives you a little bit different look, putting Smith at the fullback position and giving him a quick hitter.
It is a face mask called against Harding.
Really something you can't forget. Tony Osborne, number 2 as the tailback, obviously doesn't get the ball on this play, but he's a dangerous runner as well, and he came up real big for these Howland Tigers late last season.
First and 10 from the 33 for Howland.
First down and 10, the ball's on the 33-yard line.
Brendan Cope. Howland quarterback fumbles the snap, and he's going to be dropped at the 36-yard line. Coach Engel talked about that earlier this week. He said one of the things he was not happy with was the center quarterback exchange. We saw some problems with that last week in that big win over Lakeview, and again, another problem here tonight.
Well, now you're dealing with your second center. Remember, Alex Ciferno got hurt in that second quarter. Jason Freeman in at center, so not only did you have trouble between the starters, now you have your backup center in there, and it creates even more disruption.
So it's a loss of 3 yards on the play. Second down and 13 upcoming.
Boy, and something so simple as that quarterback center exchange could be just devastating.
Brendan Cope takes the snap, turns and gives to Devion Smith, muscling his way inside the 35 to the 34-yard line for a gain of just 2.
That might be one of the more punishing 2-yard runs that we've ever seen on both ends, offensively and defense. And Smith sometimes takes a lot of hits fighting to get those extra yards. Again, there you see first contact, keeping those legs churning. And the one thing that has been consistent tonight, that Harding's defense has been swarming to the football.
We have a whistle and an official's timeout called. Looks like maybe an equipment issue for Warren Harding in the defensive backfield. Say every week we'll pick the PNC Bank Player of the Game. It's one player that has made the greatest impact. That player receives a hoodie from Nightline Embroidery and Screen Print. We'll feature the Player of the Game every Monday night at 6. 27 First News and First News at 10 on Fox Youngstown. Big third down play coming up for Howland. 3rd and 9 from the 32. Brendan Cope pumping once, firing long down the left side. It's caught at the 11-yard line. Dominic Termine has a Tigers first down on a pretty looking pitch and catch.
And boy, they set that up nicely. They acted like they were going to throw the bubble screen to the left, and everybody had their eyes on that. And out in coverage, Orlando Irvin never sees the football. You'll see his back to the football as he catches this, number 7. And a big play in the air, surprisingly, for the Howland Tigers.
And it'll be first down for Howland. And we have a whistle and a timeout called by head coach Dick Engel. But the Tigers in business. It'll be 1st and goal when we get back to it with 2:07 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Well, we've got a stoppage of play. We'll send it down to the sideline, and Sherry standing by.
Well, like I said earlier, the crowd here is just fantastic, absolutely huge, lining the sides. I mean, there's people everywhere. We also have some very special guests from the Warren Fire Department who came out to see the game, and especially with the anniversary of 9/11 coming up, we just want to say thank you, guys.
Of course, the entire country in remembrance of that horrible tragedy 10 years ago. This Sunday, flag at half-staff. Of course, Coach Engel's son is a graduate of West Point. So a big salute to all of the servicemen and women, as well as the police and firefighters across the nation. So 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Howland trying to tack on 6 more. Brendan Cope turns, gives. Devion Smith keeping the legs churning. However, he's going to be dragged down. Here to make the stop was Andreas Cambridge leading the charge. Smith never did get a full head of steam, and he's going to be stuffed. They do give him forward progress for 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 8.
You see Cambridge coming around the side, able to get this play from behind. Because again, it's Lindell Kimball, who's had a couple big hits here tonight. Really the first guy to meet Devion Smith in the hole.
And we're closing in on 90 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter.
And this Harding defense has been out there a while on this drive. You got to wonder if that Howland offensive line's starting to wear them down a little bit.
The pitch goes to Devion Smith. That time he got a full head of steam, but he's wrestled down from behind at the 5-yard line. Riding him down, Jalen Moore. He had some daylight. You thought he might be able to scamper his way in. Not the case, however. This Harding defense not going down easily, that's for sure.
Now you get him to the outside that time. So many runs we've seen with him up the middle with the fullback lead. That time you get him out in space. Get some blockers out in front of him. Like I said, brings up a 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Brendan Cope with Devion Smith in the I formation. Howland brings a man in motion, and we have a whistle. Penalty flag down. Illegal procedure called against Howland. And Ralph, these are very, very costly penalties for the Tigers.
Absolutely. You're looking at a 3rd and goal from the 5, and now it's going to be a 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. And obviously it makes it difficult for a run-oriented team like Howland to go into that playbook. Although we've seen Coach Engel probably throw the ball more than we have in a long time here tonight.
4 penalties on Howland tonight, 3 called on Warren Harding. So it is going to be 3rd and goal from the 10. Raider fans and Tiger fans alike making a boatload of noise here at Mollenkopf Stadium. Brendan Cope brings a man in motion. Cope will keep it himself. Loose football! And Devion Smith pounces on it at the 21. If he doesn't, it's 6 the other way, Ralph.
Well, that was going to be an option to the right side. We haven't seen an option all day from this Howland offense. And it was disrupted from the get-go. There you see it again. It's number 26, Lindell Kimball, in the backfield. Boy, you're right. They're lucky that Devion Smith able to pounce on that football.
And with that, the 3rd quarter is in the books. Don't you dare go anywhere. Howland 9, Warren Harding 7. The exciting 4th quarter comes your way next on the MyValleySports.com High School Football Game of the Week. All set for quarter number 4 here at Mollenkopf Stadium. It is Howland 9, Harding 7. Howland comes out on 4th and 20 and will attempt a 37-yard field goal from the right hash. Connor Gilmore has 1 field goal tonight. Gilmore's kick is underway, and it is no good. Boy, it sure looked good. Had the distance, but it is no good, and it's mission accomplished for the Warren Harding defense, which took advantage of some big plays, also some costly penalties, and Gilmore's kick looked good off his foot.
Please collect your prize under the home stand.
However, it is no good somehow, some way.
That's Joy Angelo.
So the ball goes back to Warren Harding, and we'll see what kind of effect that momentum shift has on the ball game here at this point.
Well, Harding needs to have their offense on that field for a while to move the football, to give that defense a break. And now they still could win this thing with a field goal.
Jalen Powell Turns and gives LaShawn Daniels up the middle across the 30. He's to the 31-yard line.
Two good running backs on display here tonight. LaShawn Daniels, the newcomer to the area, transferring into Harding and showing you what he could do on the ground.
Of course, he had that electrifying return to set up the Howland, beg your pardon, the Harding touchdown. 1st and 10 from the 31. LaShawn Daniels into the open field, and there he goes. Daniels is going to cut it back to the outside and brought down at the 14-yard line.
Kenny Posga got to come all the way over to make that tackle. And just like he electrified this crowd with his punt return, he does it on the ground here on offense. What a nice hole outside there to run in. Great lead block that time by Elijah Jackson. And he shows you his speed down the sideline.
First down and 10. The ball's on the 15-yard line.
Brought down by Ken Poziga. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. LaShawn Daniels putting on a big-time show. Jalen Powell will keep it himself. Ball popped free. Back to the left side. Powell dropped at the 21. Loss of 6 yards on the play.
Well, the same thing that happened to Howland down here is happening to Harding. These negative plays, when you're struggling on offense, are so hard to overcome. As Powell is slow to get up. There you see the play fake, and you're right, Chad. That ball bounces around in his hands, and Tony Osborne right there to jump on it.
2nd and 15 from the 20-yard line. Back in at quarterback is Jimmy Rumpel. LaShawn Daniels to the right of Rumpel. A receiver to each side, and now shifting to the left side is LaShawn Daniels. Rumpel takes the snap, turns and gives. LaShawn Daniels up the middle, muscling his way inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Daniels has been very impressive here.
Absolutely, that offensive line getting the push up front that they didn't get early on in this game. And maybe it's that Howland defensive line that's wearing down a little bit. And boy, that's not bad. 9 carries for 88 yards.
3rd down and 8 upcoming. Jalen Powell is back in from the 13. Powell gets to Daniels, and he dances his way in for a touchdown! LaShawn Daniels scampers in for a 13-yard touchdown, and Warren Harding takes their first lead of the night. It's 13-9 pending the extra point.
Boy, and he has been the spark for this team tonight. And special teams in on offense, and look at that, just a lot of real estate in front of him, and not a lot of Harding defenders.
And we shall see if Harding is going to kick the extra point or go for 2. There's a timeout called with 9:55 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Oh, baby, a shift in momentum. Warren Harding with a 13-9 lead. An impressive-looking offensive drive for Rick Rios' Raiders.
Yeah, you know what? It wasn't fancy. It was just handing the football off to LaShawn Daniels. But you're doing with the quarterback that has the threat to run, and you keep that defense on their heels when you have that dual threat out of the backfield. And a decision for Rick Rios, like you said, whether or not you go for just the point after or you go for 2. Either way, it's going to take a touchdown, not a field goal.
What's the school of thought now in terms of the decision that will be made here?
I think you go for the extra point. I mean, a field goal is not going to tie you. It's not going to make a difference.
We shall see. It looks like the offense is coming back out for Coach Rios and company.
Well, you go up 6 here, you force the Tigers to score a touchdown and kick that extra point, which they struggled earlier to beat you.
Daniels out of the Wildcat. Daniels trying to sweep the left side, gets the block, and he's in. Tack on 2 more.
These Raiders are fired up, and their fans are fired up. And the pressure is going to come down to this Howland offense. In just a few minutes here when they get this kickoff, but here's the two-point conversion, and again, he's not hit until he's in that end zone.
And so now it will take a touchdown and an extra point for Howland to recapture the lead. A very swift turn of events here in the fourth quarter. Coach Engel and his Tigers have their work cut out against a very inspired Warren Harding group right now.
This place is absolutely electric right now.
Electric is a picture-perfect description. Set to boot it away, Dominic Milano-Jones. Poziga and Smith back deep to return for Howland. It is a low line drive kick. Ricochets off one of the Tigers. Loose football. And again, some Raiders piling on. And Howland will hang on to the football as Matt Hayes is able to pounce on it. And again, Rick Rios saying we are not going to give Devion Smith a chance to break a long return.
Yeah, they kicked it to him here tonight. That's the first time they didn't go to him. Well, they almost have a chance of getting that football.
All right, so the plot thickens. 9:51 left on the fourth quarter clock. It is 1st and 10 for Howland from the 28-yard line. Tigers will send out Hayes in a slot on the left side. Another receiver, bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Devion Smith is the running back, dotting the I formation. Brendan Cope fakes the handoff, rolling to the near side. Cope will tuck it, he will run to the 30, he's to the 35, he's got a first down, and he's brought down at the 41.
Well, that's the third time we've seen that play action to Devion Smith up the middle. And Brendan Cope roll out and have a ton of real estate out in front of him. And boy, you have to respect that handoff because of what Devion Smith here has done here tonight. And Brendan Cope directed traffic out in front of him.
1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Tigers trailing now by 6. Brendan Cope. 2 receivers to the right-hand side. They will give to Devion Smith up the middle. Devion Smith with a first down, or darn close.
And you know these running backs, and running backs in general, usually have big egos. They don't want to be outshined by another running back. Devion Smith would like nothing more than to drive this football down the field and put his stamp on this game, just like LaShawn Daniels did moments ago.
Couple of the area's best running backs on display here at Mollenkopf Stadium on the turf. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line of Warren Harding. Movement on the left side of the line. Penalty flags come flying in, and I believe the left tackle and guard who were prematurely moving. It'll be called against Howland, Ralph. Again, another costly penalty.
And we've seen some mistakes up front for Howland, and that might do to the injury situation they've had up there, some shuffling, but that time that offensive line, you get off the football and get on their blocks, jump a little bit early.
They mark off the penalty yardage. It is 2nd and 15. They're spotted at the 46 of Howland. Brendan Cope turns and gives. Devion Smith trying to cut that right side, and he's brought down at the 49. It's a pickup of 3. Lindell Kimball has played a very good game defensively for Harding, and he is there to make the stop, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and a dozen.
Boy, and of their linebackers, he has been the most active here tonight. You see Devion Smith trying to use that speed to get outside. But Harding has as much speed, if not more, than he does. as Kimball's able to chase that down.
I beg your pardon, 2nd and 13. Brendan Cope rolling to the near side. Brendan Cope is hemmed in and down. Tiptoe on that sideline. Jalen Powell there to bring him down. Now it will be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, Jalen Powell, you're not going to beat him to the corner. You think Cope should have kind of tucked this one or ran it a little bit sooner. And Jalen Moore also on that tackle.
.28 left. This is a very important 3rd down play. And we have a whistle and an official's timeout called. And with that, Brendan Cope will be attended to. We'll take one as well. Harding 15, Howland 9. Back to Mullen Cup Stadium following these words on the MyValleySports.com. High school football game of the week. Brendan Cope, the Howland quarterback who's done such a great job being attended to following a big hit on this play.
But you see that his left shoulder got driven into the ground.
Zach Wilson in at quarterback. They will pitch it to Devion Smith. Smith wants to throw, firing. Wilson can't make the catch. It is incomplete. Tigers go to the bag of tricks. There in coverage for Warren Harding was Lindell Kimball once again.
Well, he has played himself a nice job not to get sucked in on that pitch fake. To stay on his side as that linebacker. And you like the play, you like it. The trickiness of it, but it doesn't work. And now if you're Howland, you're forced to punt it with 8:23 left.
Kyle Noble is in punt formation. LaShawn Daniels is joined by Jalen Powell in twin safety for Warren Harding. Snap rolls back to Noble, but he gets the kick away. It's a spiraling kick, which is angled towards the near sideline, and it'll be ruled out of bounds right at about the 15-yard line. And so Harding takes over, 1st and 10. Now the official adjusts his field position. It's now going to be 1st and 10 from the 20 for Harding. Say, you know, there will be some outstanding plays tonight. We've already seen quite a few. Coming up after this one, Ralph and I will pick the Dr. William Woods play of the night. And we aren't even close to being done just yet. So Harding trying to work on the clock right now. Jalen Powell takes the snap. He'll keep it himself. Trying to pick up the corner, and he's to the 25-yard line for a pickup of 5. In case you're wondering, Howland with 1 timeout remaining. Harding with 2. Raiders with a 6-point advantage.
Another thing to be concerned about as we look out in the distance in the sky, we start to see a little lightning, and we've been told that the storm is miles away and heading north, but obviously something to consider for the officials here.
Jalen Powell turns and gives LaShawn Daniels is spun down at the 20. He'll lose 4, maybe 5 yards on the play.
And it's Devion Smith, his counterpart, in that backfield. You see he's there on the blitz, and he's going to get some help over the top from Austin Hutchins.
Clock continues to roll. It's now 3rd and 9 for the Warren Harding Raiders. Jalen Powell in the shotgun. Receiver to each side. Raiders bring a man in motion left to right. Jalen Powell, errant snap, rolling to the near side. Powell will reverse his tracks, and Powell firing out of bounds. And the Tiger fans are saying intentional grounding, but Explain, Ralph.
Well, number 11 is in the area, and really it doesn't matter because it's going to bring up 4th down, and they're going to punt it anyways. But Mike Dorsey is in the area, as Jalen Powell did a nice job just getting that shotgun snap with one hand. You could say that he's in the grasp right there.
So it'll be 4th and 9. Kenny Posaga back in single safety to return. What a time it would be for Posaga to bust one.
And over the years, we've seen him make a lot of plays.
Warren Harding will call timeout number 2. So each team with 1 timeout remaining.
And even with a good punt here, Chad, Howland is going to take over in fairly good field position, regardless of the return. And you know the coaches are telling him right there, let's get some pressure on this, but do not rough the kicker.
The last thing that Howland needs is to allow Harding to get an automatic 1st down. Say you can vote for the Big 22 Player of the Year. It is brought to you by Antone's Banquet Center. Go to myvalleysports.com and click Big 22 to make your choice for the best high school football player from our area. Kyle Cogley in punt formation. The snap is also important as well. We've seen our fair share of poor snaps. This one is clean, and Cogley gets it away. It's a low line drive kick taken by Posaga at the 40. He's to the 45, and he's rushed out of bounds right at about the 50-yard line. And so, with 7:13 left to play here in the ball game, it is 1st and 10 for Howland, right at about the 50-yard line. As you said, excellent field position.
And we got to take a close look at who's going to come out and play quarterback.
Brendan Cope still being attended to.
Looks like Zach Wilson's going to take the helm again. So you have a backup center and a backup quarterback on an oh-so-important drive.
So Zach Wilson is indeed back up under center. Wilson turns and gives. Devion Smith bouncing it to the outside, and Smith still on his feet. Ran into his own teammate, still kept the legs churning, and he's down to the Harding 47-yard line.
And it's so tough to get the corner on this Harding defense. You know, you try to run that ball outside, and he bounces it outside. And usually your speed can get you to the outside and turn upfield, but so much speed on that Raider defense.
I'll say his left knee touchdown right at the tail end of that play. After it's all said and done, it's 2nd down and 7 following a picket of 3. Clock rolling down to 6.5 left to play. It's a 6-point ball game. Zach Wilson on in relief of the injured Brendan Cope. Movement up front. This is Wilson, hemmed in and down at the 50. I think everybody was waiting for a penalty flag.
Zach Wilson is not going to be able to get the corner against this defense. As you're right, it almost looked like a broken play from the get-go. Whether somebody moved early or not wasn't called.
The officials just discussed. Coach Engel wants an explanation, and I don't think he's going to like the explanation.
Well, the explanation may be about the weather.
Yeah, that may be the case. There may have been lightning in the area. So the teams are being sent to the near side and to the far side. And when we get back to it, it'll be 3rd down and 9. And so the players are being sent back to the locker room.
And I may be wrong, but the rule is, I believe, 30 minutes from the first sign of lightning. And each time you see lightning, that 30 minutes starts up again.
Yes, it does.
And we've been told by people up here in the booth that that this storm is headed north.
So we have a stoppage of play. We'll take a timeout. Bring you back with more football, hopefully sooner rather than later. It's 15-9. Harding with a 6-point lead on the myvalleysports.com high school football game of the week. Not many folks left here at Mollenkopf Stadium after an hour and 27-minute lightning delay, but we're back playing football. Now we'll see how the players can get motivated out of that long, lengthy delay. 3rd and 9 from the 49-yard line. Howland with the football. Brendan Cope is injured. Zach Wilson in at quarterback. Zach Wilson turns, gives Devion Smith. Breaking free. He's going to be short of a first down inside the 45 and down to the 42-yard line.
Well, not a surprise the play out of the break. I mean, it's Devion Smith. He is the go-to guy for this Howland offense. Nice job out front, clearing the way. You rely on the safety that time, Jalen Powell, to come up and make the tackle. But a huge play right here.
4th down and 2. It could be 4th and the ball game, potentially. One receiver far side to the right. Devion Smith is the tailback. Tyler Drass is the fullback. Brandon Miller comes in motion left to right. Wilson gives. Devion Smith barreling forward, and he's got a first down.
Well, we say it all the time. Big-time players have to come up in big games. And he certainly did that right there, picking up that first down. Credit to the boys up front. But they still have a long way to go and about 5 minutes to get there. And you talked about it earlier, Chad. Every time he touches that football, you get that feeling where, hey, this could be the big play.
1st and 10 from the Harding 36-yard line. One receiver far to the right. Brandon Miller comes in motion. Devion Smith takes the handoff. Smith has an opening and falls forward inside the 35. And he's brought down at the 34-yard line. Clock rolling. Under 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
See Smith that time started up the middle and tried to take that outside. Got tripped up. We'll take a look at it right here. Just barely stumbles, and that's going to be a big gain.
Pickup of 2, 2nd and 8 from the 34. Tigers will send out one wide receiver near side to the left. It is Matt Hayes. Wing on the right side is Brandon Miller. Devion Smith again is the running back. Long count by Wilson. He turns and gives. Devion Smith barreling forward, still on his feet. And he's spun down inside the 30. And he's brought down at about the 28-yard line. In to make the stop, Lindell Kimball. He's been all over the field defensively for the Raiders.
Yeah, between Kimball and Craig, they have made a lot of stops for this Harding defense. But boy, you know, you come out of that break, hour and 20 minutes, and boy, it seemed like this Howland offense just got rejuvenated. And it's not like they're doing anything new, Chad.
Tell you what, the electricity is right back in here, and I'm not talking about the lightning. 3rd down and 1. See if they go back to Devion Smith. Wilson trying to draw the Raiders off. They give to Smith. Devion Smith putting his head down, and he's got a first down. Looked like there was some movement up front. However, the Tigers move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10, Howland.
You remember you have a backup center in there. Maybe a veteran center, Safernos, if he was in there, would have snapped that ball at the movement to pick up the cheap 5. But either way, Howland is going to get credited with the first down.
Each team with 1 timeout left. It is 1st and 10 from the Harding 23-yard line. We're under 3.5 to play. Zach Wilson under center. Wilson gives to Devion Smith. He has an opening. Smith still on his feet inside the 15. Brought down at the 13-yard line. Tigers continue to play smash mouth football.
Exactly what it is, Chad. They're just running downhill, pounding them up front. And Devion Smith is doing the job. Zach Wilson doing a nice job of managing the game at the quarterback position.
And the Warren Harding Raiders will call their final timeout of the night. And tell you what, going into that lightning delay, it seemed like Harding had all the momentum. Right now, right out of the gates, it is Howland with that momentum.
Yeah, and really it's a credit to these players on really both sides of the football, staying loose, staying in shape in the locker room, able to come out here and perform at a high level. And you're right, Chad, at this point, it's Howland that's performing at the higher level.
1 timeout remaining for Howland. Harding is now out of timeouts. The Raiders with a 6-point lead, 15-9. 13-yard touchdown run by LaShawn Daniels. Put Harding ahead.
You know, you talk about LaShawn Daniels. Obviously, we've talked a great deal about Devion Smith. Both two very impressive backs here tonight. And the thing about both of them is they're both juniors. They're both going to be back for another year next year. Certainly both going to be highly recruited at the next level. And they have put on a show here for us tonight.
1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Howland trying to punch in the equalizer. Hayes near side to the left. Miller comes in motion right to left. The give is to Devion Smith. Smith barrels his way, loses the football, and I think Harding pounced on it. Oh my! The officials are umpiling. Oh my!
Oh.
And it's Howland's football!
I'll tell you what, Jalen Moore jumped on that football, but he didn't end up with it. We always say you don't know what happens on the bottom of those piles. But Devion Smith gets close to the goal line and he's going to take a hit. And there's the football. Watch number 15 in the black jersey. He jumps on that football.
It might have gone between his legs, however, and Smith went right back between from the backside and scooped that football up. I'll tell you what. Oh my, talk about one of the biggest plays of the night. 2nd down, inside the 5, they'll spot it at the 2-yard line. Devion Smith with a 78-yard touchdown run in the 1st quarter. Trying to tie things up here in the 4th quarter. Devion Smith is tripped up. He tries to cross that goal line, he's in, touchdown! And we are tied at 15.
Keep in mind, we've already seen one missed extra point here tonight. And the way he's running the football, I'd go for 2. But this has been all Devion Smith. This whole drive, since we came back from the lightning break, has been him over and over again, and that's the result.
What a big play. Devion Smith saw maybe this game hanging in the balance, going the way of Warren Harding. However, he lost the ball and says, give me that back. Timeout called by Howland.
Look at him stick that ball out there over the goal line to get that touchdown. And usually we see Harding in this situation take a timeout to freeze the kicker a little bit. Harding out of timeouts. Dick Engle decides to use his timeout just to make sure everybody's on the same page for this extra point attempt.
2:18 left in the ball game. What a thrilling end to this one. It took long, but it's been worth the wait, Ralph.
Yeah, and you know what? Even if they make this extra point, Harding gets the ball back. And LaShawn Daniels has been gaining yards, large chunks at a time. Obviously, we've seen him with a great punt return early in the game. Nothing that says he can't do it on a kickoff return.
It's all hanging on the shoulders, at least for the moment, of Connor Gilmore. The senior place kicker had one blocked early in the 1st quarter, following that 78-yard touchdown run by Devion Smith.
How many guys from Harding are going to talk to him while he's setting up that tee?
Gilmore feels very lonely at the moment. He'll have all kinds of friends if he boots this one through. Howland trying to take the lead. We're tied at 15. Snap, back, ball down, kick, up, and Gilmore's got it! And Howland takes the lead.
Well, the thing you can't have if you're Howland is a big letdown right here. You know you got to come out and play defense again. You know, Coach Ungaro up in the box isn't going to let him off the hook. They're going to come with the pressure and try to win this ball game.
16-15, Howland with a 1-point lead. You go back to that near fumble by Smith. His effort and his effort alone giving Howland the advantage at the moment.
Yeah, you know, you think back to that play just a couple minutes ago when that ball came out and you saw number 15, Jalen Moore, jump on it. You think this ball game's over. But how quickly things change. Devion Smith very resourceful following that fumble, trying to get the ball back, did so, and now has his team up by 1 point.
2:18 left, however. Harding with an opportunity following a 10-play drive. It took 50 yards. 4 minutes, 55 seconds, capped off by that Devion Smith 2-yard touchdown plunge. Connor Gilmore set to boot this one downfield again. That big play. It came free. It looked like the Raiders would pounce on it. However, it was Devion Smith scooting underneath to grab the football. LaShawn Daniels is back deep to return for Harding. We'll see if Gilmore gives him a chance. This a high end-over-end kick. It is gobbled up by Terrell Bruner. Bruner bouncing it to the outside for the Raiders. Bruner, 30, 35, spun down at the 40-yard line. Raiders aren't done yet.
Well, obviously, we talked about it earlier. Jalen Powell, not a throwing quarterback. Jimmy Rumpel doesn't have a lot of experience, but this run back right here by Terrell Bruner gets them in a good position around the 40-yard line to make a run at it. We know they're a running team. We know they don't throw the ball a lot, but they're going to be forced to do something they're not comfortable with in order to win this football game.
1st and 10 from the 40 for Warren Harding. 4 wide receivers set. It looks like Justin Magazine is to the right of the quarterback, Jimmy Rumpel. They will bring Jalen Powell in motion. He's now as a wide receiver lined up. Throw to the left side is complete to the 45-yard line. Myquan Dorsey makes the catch. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5.
Kenny Posiga comes up, makes that tackle inbounds. The clock continues to roll.
Remember, Harding out of timeouts, down by 1. Rumpel trying to lead the Raiders down the field. Rumpel turns, Rumpel gives, Magazine up the middle as a 1st down to the 50, and he is stuffed.
Remember high school football, you pick up the 1st down, the clock does stop while they reset the chains. Going to give Harding an opportunity to reset it just a little bit.
1st and 10 from the Howland 49-yard line. LaShawn Daniels to the left of the quarterback, Jimmy Rumpel. Rumpel brings Powell in motion. Rumpel takes the snap. He wants to throw. Popping once, firing long down the left side. And it is incomplete. Wide open was Myquan Dorsey. And he was all alone. He would have gone for 6 probably, Ralph.
If it doesn't go for 6, he's at least going to go out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. There's a blitz coming from the backside. Rumpel ignores it, throws it downfield, has a man, and we're going to see a look right here. Well, it almost looked like it hit the face mask of Myquan Dorsey, and you can see his frustration right there.
He'll be reliving that moment for a long time tonight.
And you see his coaches, his teammates trying to pick him up because they're going to need him out there.
Rumpel turns and gives. LaShawn Daniels brought down at the 48-yard line. There to make the stop. That Howland defensive front. Look at the frustration by Dorsey.
But if you're Dorsey, your team's one of your best receivers. You need him back out on the field. Obviously, I know he's disappointed, but
3rd and 9 upcoming for Warren Harding. Rumpel takes the snap, wants to throw. Here comes the blitz. It's caught at the 45, and Powell is brought down. And now Powell delivers a blow to the Howland Tigers. Tell you what, Jalen Powell better keep his cool, or he's going to be sitting for the next 2 weeks.
Boy, you got to talk about the tackle right here by Zach Wilson in the open field. He doesn't make that. That goes for 15 or 20 more yards. And there you see what upset Jalen Powell. Zach Wilson talking a little bit after the tackle.
4th and 5, Rumpel to throw, popping once, firing along down the left side, incomplete, and Howland will win.
And
What a ball game.
I told you that Howland defense wasn't going to stop being aggressive. And you saw the pressure right there on Jimmy Rumpel. And this game has lived up. We've had 2 weeks in a row where these games have been everything we could ask for.
All it'll take now is a knee. This the final heave-ho for Warren Harding. And the Tigers will indeed make it 2 straight victories over Warren Harding. Kenny Posiga on in coverage.
And it almost looked in that replay like Jalen Powell didn't know the ball was coming.
But once again, we hate to be the broken record. The broken record as we talk about that play, one of the biggest plays of the night, that near fumble.
That's the previous play where we thought we might see some flags. We didn't see any, and what we did see, Chad, was a great football game here tonight.
Howland will take a knee, and that's all she wrote. Final 15 seconds, tick on down, and bragging rights go to the Tigers for the second straight year. The final score in this one, Howland 16, Warren Harding 15. We've seen it all. Devion Smith, the one-man wrecking crew, coming through in crunch time, and his team improves to 3-0. We'll wrap it up following this on the MyValleySports.com High School Football Game of the Week. What a ball game here tonight. We saw a little bit of everything. An hour and 27-minute lightning delay. Howland comes out of that delay. Comes away with a 16-15 victory over Warren Harding. Hi again, everybody. Chad Krispinski back with you. It's now time to select our Dr. William Woods play of the game. It came following that lengty delay, and it comes courtesy of Devion Smith, who is also our PNC Bank player of the game. Smith trying to find pay dirt, and watch this. Ball comes out of his grasp, a big-time hit from the Warren Harding Raiders. However, it looks like Harding is going to pounce on it, but Smith, realizing the importance of getting that football back, dove his way in, and he got possession and would plunge in from 2 yards out just a couple of plays later. Devion Smith rushing for 256 yards and 2 touchdowns. He provides our Dr. William Woods play of the night, and he is our PNC Bank player of the game. I'd like to thank some folks who made our broadcast possible tonight. Our director is Mike Roscoe. Our technical director is Bill Bullett. On cameras, James Bates, Todd Prodnick, Justin Verona, and Jason Wright. Our art director is Sue Ford. On graphics and animation, it was Chris Comley. Our statistician is Orville Simons. Much thanks to my broadcast partners, Ralph Sandy and Sherry Jones, for their work. My name is Chad Krispinski, reminding you this is a copyrighted broadcast of PBC Broadcasting of Youngstown 2011. Again, the final score in this one, in thrilling fashion, it was Howland